Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for June Tarot Oracle reading. And Cancer, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Cancer, we all have a Cancer somewhere in our birth chart. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Cancer in? That would be where this energy is most likely to show up for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We do have the 8 of Pentacles here. So the Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in 3D. And this is talking about someone who's very focused on making money. This is the only card out of all of the Pentacle cards that is about someone actually making the money, like literally, the coin itself. This could be talking about starting a project. You're on the second coin and you have 6 to go, or you've already completed 6 and you have the 7th and you have 1 to go. So this is an underlying energy for the entire reading. And then we have a message coming in about these pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is one of 4 knights in the minor arcana in the tarot. And his responsibility is to travel far and wide to deliver messages for the king and the queen and the rest of the court. Now, in the old days, that's the only form of long-distance communication they had. But these days, this could be coming in by a phone call, a text message, an email. This could represent something coming in the mail, documents, etc. There could be, you could be on social media and someone messages you, or maybe you see an event posted there and you attend the event and run into someone. Also, if you're looking for information for financial reasons and investments, etc., it's really, really good idea to keep an eye on what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because whatever the elites are doing, the leaders of the country are doing, is definitely going to have an effect. And at least if you have some of that information, you might pick up some of the early trends, that sort of energy. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving of all of the knights, and this can be really frustrating sometimes. It can take a long time for financial matters to take, or if you're working on a business, it can take a long time before you actually make a profit. So it's talking about that, that you might be waiting a long time for something to happen with the Pentacle energy. Or some information coming in, like maybe a bank statement that says, woohoo, that type of money. So, and then we have Pentacles here again, Cancer. So you've really got money on your mind here. This is talking about, and although it's not just money, now I want to clarify that, because it's just that in this reading, it feels like definitely there's a focus on making money and it being a priority right now, because now we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she's known for being very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. This is about quality over quantity. This is generational wealth. It's a legacy you can pass down to your children and your children's children. But what I often wonder about the Queen of Pentacles, why does she have to be so frugal? And that is the question. And so we're going to look into that. This is where you are right now, Cancer. This is about your self-identity and image. Now, this energy is for the underlying energy for the entire reading. And this is the underlying card from the bottom of the deck for your internal forces. So we're talking about your internal forces here. You have control over your internal forces. The internal forces are the what ifs, IF. What if they do this and I do that? What if they don't do that and then I have to do this? It's a loop that you can get yourself caught up thinking in. And so the secret to the what ifs is responding to the information rather than reacting to it. All right, and then we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords quite often represents, like the pages would work for the king and queen at a younger age, and at the 7 to 14, generally, depending on how mature they were, excuse me, you would, in those days, you have to remember that the lifespan was only about half of what it is now. So the pages, they didn't have childhood as we have it now. And quite often by 14, they were out on their own for sure. And so this is talking about someone who like the pages, their main training would be to deliver messages within the court. And then when they turned 21, if they were, still there and they were accomplished, they might even be considered for knighthood if they could afford a horse. So this is talking about that age span, from 7 to about 21. And sometimes it can be significant, sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes it's significant as to a time frame, or maybe that the information is coming in from someone that you've known or someone from your family, that it can give clues as to that. So this page, his element is the element of air, and this is talking about your thoughts. So you notice he is the only page of all the pages that is not looking at his element, that is not focused on it. And that's because he already has the logical question. He's looking for an intuitive answer. So he's looking away from the sword and thinking outside the box to use his intuition in combination with his logic to get creative solutions. This card also reminds me a lot of someone who's about to take a swing in a golf tournament. And, golfing is a very mental game. And this is saying that, understanding that discipline of your mind is really important. If you're golfing, as I said, it's a mental sport. So if the first hole you go out there, you end up having like a real bad round there. And you end up throwing your club and, like having a temper tantrum. Or do you go to the second hole and all of a sudden you get a hole in one? It's that discipline of your mind when you're under stress that you can quiet your mind, quiet your emotions, and make strong choices. And be more intuitive, feel with your heart. So that's this is the advice coming from this. And this is talking about your abundance. So if you're in this position right now where you're going through a period where you need to really watch your money and be frugal, and that's your main concern, this energy is saying, this can also be an aha moment, like having like one of those moments where you're thinking about something and thinking about something, and then all of a sudden it just pops into your head or on the tip of your tongue, and it's like, aha, I actually know the answer now. I figured it out. Yay. It's that type of energy. And we have, this would change your world then, if you, whatever this is, and it could have to do with this information coming in about your resources. Now, it's important to recognize that the Pentacles and Tarot do not just represent money. Money is a big part of it, of course, of your health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. But this is more about lifestyle than money. And so you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. Having said that, this particular reading is very focused on the money portion of it. And I do feel that this information coming in, this is saying this is the end of this cycle of having to be really frugal and being able to move forward in a stronger way. The Fool goes on his journey at the 0 point and at card 21. And that's, remember what I said about this energy here, at card 21, then this is saying, okay, you've learned everything you can from this. It's time to move forward. Now, because we have this card right before it, I do feel this is significant for you, that something, whatever age you are now, I feel like something happened between the time that you were probably 14 and 21, or 7 to 14, 14 to 21, depending. So this could represent your early life, because this is communication and from the way you were taught to communicate in early life, or communication coming in from people that you knew. So this can represent family, and it also can represent people that you went to elementary and high school with, or maybe even college and university. That it could have something to do with them, or be in that kind of that could be a clue here. we'll just leave it at that. The justice is coming in. So justice comes in from the spiritual realm down to the physical, which is represented by this thin veil here. There's a thin veil between the spiritual realm and the physical. And so this is coming down into, this is saying some decision has been made in the spiritual realm. And this figure, it's her duty to bring that down and make sure the justice happens on planet Earth. We have a bunch of sirens going off in the background as soon as the justice card came out. So I don't know, there's something going on for sure. Like, this reading feels very, it has a stressed out undercurrent. Maybe not so stressed out, but like there's an undercurrent of excitement, anxiety. It's hard to tell which right now. So it could be both. So justice is a two-edged sword. She's got her right foot, her right foot is peeking out from underneath her robe here, saying that she's ready to make a move forward in a moment's notice. And this also represents redemption from karma. So a lot of people feel that karma is punishment, but karma is not punishment. It's cause and effect of actions. So you can have direct karma from actions that you take or that you don't take. You could see that cause other people suffering. So you can have indirect karma, which your ancestors, before they crossed over, they may have not been able to finish up some business. And now it's up to someone in the bloodline cleaning it up for them. And this can also represent associations with people you work with, friends, people outside your family and inside your family. So we also have karmic spaces as human beings that we can fall into. It's not uncommon at all to fall into karmic spaces because we are human. But this is saying there is justice coming in on the spiritual realm as well as on the physical. And look at this card here. Now this is in your emotional foundation now. This is what's happening right now, that you're waiting for this justice to come in. I just want to point out that this card here sometimes can represent an energy of illegally making money, like literally like money laundering, counterfeit money, an energy of white collar crime, identity theft, forgery, all the different ways that people do that. I'm not versed on all the ways, but there's all sorts of ways, scams, whatever this is. So sometimes this card can represent, with this card coming out, that some justice needs to be brought to some illegal money making. And that this is commitment, marriage, and your partnerships. So this is talking about the beginning of ultimate fulfillment, and this is officially basically the tarot card for marriage. So it could be saying that someone that you're married to right now, or that you used to be married to, or that you're about to marry, is part of, it's talking about your creativity, your romance, and your children. So this usually means the beginning of fulfillment, and so of a new couple starting out. So you could have this energy, just the way it's coming out, could be like that you're divorced and maybe you've met someone else now, and you've decided to take another go at it. And this can just basically be saying that you do have the down payment for your castle, which is a huge accomplishment. And now you are, but you still are going to have to make the mortgage payments that you've met. And the question was popped, and the answer was yes. And now you are going to work on the wedding, and then you need to apply yourself to the relationship so that it becomes a fulfilling relationship that you want it to be. And then this energy is talking about a message coming in. And see how focused this page is on this cup. This is talking generally, this does represent a romantic love. This is someone who has their eye on you, or you have your eye on someone else. So I feel it's confirming this energy here, that after whatever this is gets cleared up, your world changes, and justice comes in, and part of that is meeting someone that has their eye on you, and maybe you end up making a commitment, even marriage at some point. If it's not about marriage and love relationship, because the cups can mean love of anyone or anything, and that can also be something that you love to do or be. This could represent a partner coming in and wanting to empower you in a business. But generally, this does mean someone has their eye on you, and they want to make an extend some form of communication to get to know you better, that type of energy. And we do have this page. He knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's totally focused on this one. So he has his eye on you, or this is you and you have your eye on someone. Now, sometimes this can represent, and I'm bringing it up because I do feel that this is an energy. This would be a second marriage for whoever I'm reading for. And this energy, or a second very important, someone that you live with, basically. A significant other that you live with, that you possibly have children with, married or common law. And this energy sometimes could be representing someone new coming in after someone that you were with before, and that relationship was fishy, and it started to stink after a while. If you take a fish out of water and leave it out of water too long, it can get kind of smelly. So that is, and this is in your daily routine. So there's some sort of commitment or some sort of energy, new energy coming in that's going to shake up your daily routine. All right, we're going to check out now the underlying energy from the external forces. The external forces are the EFs. This is when you're not saying what if this happens anymore. Now you're saying what the EF happened. And the Hierophant is here. So the Hierophant is responsible for bringing this justice through. This is on a spiritual realm, and then coming down to the physical, where this is actually wielding that justice on the physical realm. Like, okay, here's your instructions, make sure this happens, type of energy. And the Hierophant, this could represent religious figures for you. If you are a religious person, it could represent the people at the top of your religion, like popes, bishops, cardinals, gurus, that type of energy. People that have pull and that make the rules of your church or the group. So rabbis, I said gurus. I'm all the different religions out there. And then if you're more of someone who's on the spiritual side, this could represent doing a lot of meditation and prayer so that you can connect with Source. And it's a direct, like, you don't have an intermediary, you go directly to the Most High. And this energy then is brought down into the physical law systems, the different courts around the land and, all the law and order throughout the world, basically. And we have that as the underlying energy for the external forces. So definitely the Hierophant is here. So there's justice here, is also here. There's definitely been something, fishy going on. It's sitting right here. He does have his right hand in the form of a blessing, which means, like, as I said, justice is a two-edged sword. If you've been on the right side of law, it's going to be a blessing for you. And if you've been on the wrong side of the law, it's going to, your karma is about to be served, basically. And look at this. This is talking about reconciliation. Now, reconciliation would imply that there has to be forgiveness of some sort to be able to reconcile with someone. But this card, you could forgive someone and not ever reconcile with them. You don't just, when you forgive someone, it's not like you're forgiving them for what they did to you. You're forgiving them so that you can open your heart back up and let go of the energy. And it doesn't mean that you want to hang out with the person anymore or have anything to do with them. Having said that, this also can sometimes represent someone coming in from your past, or someone that you've known since childhood where this energy is coming in significantly. I keep getting this. This could be, this could be family or people that you knew in elementary school, high school, when you were going to university, college, around that time in your life, or those times in your life. And this card, when you first look at it, you can see there's two children playing here, and they're playing with these potted plants, and there's someone standing in the background watching over them. But when you look more closely, this card is full of a lot of illusions. This is actually a gnome, and this is a little woman, and this little woman is an old hag from this side, and she's a young woman from this side. And both of them are wearing this white mitt. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want the potted flowers. They're just going by. And they, the old hag, she's got, experience under her belt. And she's like, we don't want your stupid flowers. Leave us alone. And she's ready to walk away. But the younger version is people-pleasing, and she's being nice. And so she's explaining how they don't want to get their hands dirty, and, being nice about it. And so this is saying, are you going to people please? Like, are you still a people pleaser? Or are you, if someone comes into your life that you've already let go, and they've caused you challenging times in your life, are you going to be nice to them, let them back in? Okay, I'll give you another chance. That's up to you. Be aware, a lot of times people do show you who they are the first time around, so keep that in mind. And this card is saying that there could be a lot of illusions behind the scenes. Even the flowers here, the white flowers in tarot, represent innocence. And these flowers are not innocent, because these flowers are from the nightshade family. They're datra. And datra, if it's ingested by children and pets, they could become very sick. So, and even datra sometimes is used by shamans to create visions so that people can heal from their childhood wounds. So this is not something you would let children play with at all. And you wouldn't have it in your yard when you have children around or pets. And the person in the background is actually just some stranger walking down the path. So it's not someone that's looking out for them. So this is talking about all the illusions that you might have from your youth. You may, have a lot of illusions about the people that you thought that you were friends with, that were in your inner circle, family members. You may see them, and you may, 20 years later, you haven't seen them, but you think of them in the same light. And things are not the way you thought it was. There could be something that was happening in your childhood that you are not aware of. There's a lot of illusions coming out here. And this is in partnerships, commitments, and sometimes spouse energy. So there could still be something that you don't know about a stinky past relationship. And if you're getting into a new one, make sure, especially if you're online dating, that you check out that this person is who they say they are. Do a background check. This can sometimes page can sometimes represent hiring a private detective or an investigation, using technology to be able to gather information about someone. And I feel like that might be happening to you since you were young, is what's coming up. And I don't know why that would be. Generally, with all this money here and this making money, there could be something to do with it there. So, there's a lot of energy coming in here. So this is saying basically you need to use your intuition as well as your logic. And, we do have that full moon that we're in right now, that energy. Now, this full moon that we're in on the 31st, it's going to be, but today is the 29th. So it's going, we're feeling that energy. And because you're the sign of Cancer, you're ruled by the moon. You always feel the moon energy more than a lot of other people. This makes you hypersensitive at times. And a lot of people will talk about the Cancer energy as being too sensitive. So if you've been told that you're too sensitive, the first thing you need to do is check out if you're hanging out with assholes, because I think you might be. And the next thing you need to do is use that sensitivity to be able to feel. so that you can use your intuition. You're highly intuitive. So turn that sensitivity into your, a skill set, so that you can use your intuition to empower you. If you add your intuition to logic, you'll be able to get the answers that you need. Or if there's too many answers and you don't know which one is the correct one, you'll be able to intuitively go, okay, well, I'm going to go with this one. So this energy is showing, like this painting is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And it's one of the series of 12 of the horoscope signs. And this person is being bullied. So this could be the kind of energy that you were in when you were younger. It's just coming up, and there's also a feeling of crabs in the bucket. So crabs in the bucket, if a bunch of crabs are harvested off the beach and then they are thrown in a bucket and they're going to be dinner for that evening, if one of the crabs tries to leave the bucket, the other ones will grab him and try and pull him back in instead of following him out. And this is, saying that, they want to pull you into their mess rather than allow you to escape it. So this energy, if someone's coming in from your past here, use this intuitive energy. This is a blue moon. It's in the sign of Sagittarius. And, this energy, the blue moon only happens about every 3 years. It's when there's two full moons in 1 month. And it's quite rare, and it's a good energy to use as a springboard to move into the upcoming energy at the beginning of June here. On June 9th, we are going to have, and this is really going to affect you as well, we are going to have Venus and Jupiter. Now, remember, this is a Sagittarius full moon that we're coming into. And this blue moon in Sagittarius, as the Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is going to move into your sign of Cancer along with Venus on June 9th. And a lot of the astrologers are saying that this is the most luckiest day of the year. The Jupiter energy, Jupiter is the most generous and happy-go-lucky of all the planets, and Venus is about love. So there could be someone new coming into your life. So this could be talking about that, but you may have had someone in the past that's trying to come in because they want something. Like it doesn't feel like it's because they're I miss you so much kind of energy. They might miss your money or something. There's something going on here, but there could also be someone coming in new for sure with that June 9th energy. And that Venus and Jupiter are moving into your sign for just that day of June 9th. So you're going to be feeling this more than anyone. And it's whenever there's two full moons in 1 month, it's a supercharged energy. It's extra emotional. So just be reminded of that if you're feeling super emotional, use that sensitivity in a strong way rather than giving into the emotions, and watch out for people coming in from your past that you haven't had a lot to do with, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, we're here. Look at this. We have the Two of Pentacles here. This energy is talking about juggling two extremes. It can be talking about multitasking, really, but it's with the Pentacles. So it could do with, especially with all this energy, someone could be juggling money and juggling morals. And this card is saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And because of the other energy here, I feel like someone may have been juggling morals in your love life in the past, as in a romantic way, and also maybe you were aware of that part of it, but you weren't aware that the reason why you've had to be so resourceful is directly connected to them, because they've been busy in this energy. So this is coming in transition. And so something, this world changing, this energy changing, but they want to come back in. Maybe they've heard through the grapevine that you have met someone, and that, hey, maybe you might be marrying them, and they don't want that. They want you to be single so that they can still control you in some way, but you're off on a new journey. So you're like, no, you're taking the leap of faith. And this is talking about the sun is representing God's energy. and you're taking a leap of faith and going on a new journey, a new cycle with very little baggage. You've got the little white dog here that is saying that you choose to remain in your innocence, and it's with someone else, not this person from the past that's coming back in. And this is why they're coming back in. Now, this could be because, perhaps there was a third party involvement. But I'm more looking at this because this is the underlying energy. Who's making money off whom here? That's what I want to know. So this is on a new cycle with someone new in your life, or that's about to happen. Or it can just be a new attitude that you have, that you love yourself enough that you're not going to fall into this trap of taking someone back in that already has caused you pain in the past. And you're a rebel with a cause now. This is talking about any energy coming towards you. You're going to use it to be passionate about your journey. And it's all like, I don't know, I didn't have a problem with speaking before I started this reading. And my voice it's like an energy of quit talking. There's people in the background of your life that don't want you to know something. That's the energy I'm picking up. And so this Knight of Wands energy is a knight coming in now. And this knight, he is delivering a message, passion. And this is talking about, the wand represents the element. This is this energy here. So this new energy coming in, wanting to offer you a cup of love and passion. And, this is you on a new journey with this person, I feel. And so this is a big red plume. It's representing this knight knows that in the past they can be really impulsive and also very, have a hot temper at times. But they're learning to rein that in, and that's the horse rearing up. And the horse represents, heartfelt energy and passion. And in the background, we have the pyramids. This is someone that loves to explore, loves, enjoys life, likes to get out there and enjoy life and have fun. And also someone that has, he's a rebel with a cause. So this is an energy of having plans to move forward and build and that type of energy. I really feel this is really strong for you. And that's why this person from the past is coming in now, because this energy is going to change the scenario. Maybe in the background, there's something happening regarding your pentacles that you're unaware of. And that's what the Hierophant and Justice is here for. It's definitely going to be a big change in your lifestyle. And this, if there isn't someone coming into your life or you already are with someone, this could be a renewed passion coming through, or it's like make sure you know your financial situation. Make sure that you take a look into it. This is saying this is a new lover, though. So this is confirmation that this is a new lover. This is your transition. This is higher learning. So you're taking what you learned from the old cycle and you're applying it in the new, and you're moving. I feel this is you moving forward in a passionate level to accept this lover. You deciding, you know what, I deserve this. And the sun here is confirming that this is a divine partner that God is sending in. This is representing God's energy. And when the sun comes in, the sun card, it's representing the happiest card in the deck, and that God is shining light on the situation. In the old days, this could just represent making choices about the people that you do business with, that you allow in your inner circle. But it also represents this energy of a divine partner coming in. And this cloud in between is saying this is probably someone you don't know, or someone that you have never been in a significant relationship before. It could be someone from your past that that you haven't seen for a long time, but it's not someone that was in your inner circle when you were younger. It would be someone that was in passing. So make sure you keep that in mind here. This is about blessings coming in when this person comes in. So this is like someone that is actually going to really care, and that you can really have a lot of fun with it, and it improves your lifestyle. And then we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is considered to be a passionate person that of all the kings, there's 4 of them, he's considered the sexiest, the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. This is someone who loves to travel. This is the Sagittarius energy, and this is the fire energy. So there's 3 fire signs: Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. So this is someone that has that energy about him, like the same as what I described here. And this could be representing who's coming in to your life. This is that energy. And that would mean that you're this Queen of Pentacles energy, and now this King of Wands is coming in, and this is the new partner that we're talking about, because it came up right after. Now the King of Wands, he is also a visionary and someone that, it's interesting because he has protection from fire. That's the salamander, and the salamander in a circle here. Now this king is someone that is, out of all the kings, he's the least likely to settle down early. It's someone that you might have known from your past, but you weren't ready to settle down. He wasn't ready to settle down. It's that type of energy. The salamanders and the lion here represent protection from fire. And so that could just mean, and there's like on this throne here, I noticed this a while back and I see it every time. 2 eyes, a mustache, and a nose, and smoke coming out. So this could just mean that the king is smoking hot, because he is, or it can also represent that where there's smoke, there's fire. So back maybe when you knew him before, he was, not ready to settle down. And quite often, this is the fire signs are the last to settle down in romantic relationships, but it's saying he's ready to settle down now. And so it might even be 10, 20 years later that you're running into this person from that you knew in the past. I feel that's the energy, but it's not the person that you already have gone through the stinky part with. So just be aware of that. And remember, use this full moon energy as a springboard to be able to move forward in your love life and in your pentacles. It's coming out very clearly, and you're going to be feeling this, Cancer, because those Venus and Jupiter are moving into your sign. So get prepared for some really interesting energy coming your way. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, and any likes and comments. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. Also, here we go with okay, so we have, I started this oracle back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64 paintings. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. I will put the card numbers in the description box below with the information from my website. If you want to check it out, the rest of the paintings there, you could do so. So we have the High Priestess energy, and this is talking about using your intuition at this time, especially regarding this situation. It's sitting right on here. While you've been busy working hard to make money, someone in the back could be actually turning that, there could be something going on there that you're not aware of. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. The High Priestess is joyful because she uses the cycles of the moon to add her intuition to her logic so that she can figure out what's going on. The need to be right. So you don't always have to be right, but sometimes it's a good idea to be right. and situations about finances and that, it's good to know what's going on for sure. But sometimes we can get into the habit of where we need the need to be right when about every single little thing. And so that does not make a happy situation for anyone. If you have to be right all the time, then that means someone else has to be wrong, and that's never a thing. Like, no one's right all the time. So this is just saying you don't have to be right about everything, but you need to be right about certain things. So making sure that you're aware of that. We have the Capricorn energy, which is talking about a lot of ambition and responsibility. So the Capricorn energy is the most disciplined of all the pentacle signs. And so it's talking about this pentacle energy. It's talking about being responsible, being able to see the possibilities and the challenges, like the Queen of Pentacles here. And at the same time, taking consistent steps of action towards your goals. Now, when horoscope signs come up in my collective readings like this, I just want you to be aware, I'm not saying a Capricorn is here, that it's an individual person. Although in your personal reading, it may come up that way. I want you to be aware that I'm talking about the sign itself and what can we learn from the sign. So it's saying, when it comes to money matters, you want to be responsible, you want to see the possibilities, but you also want to see the challenges, and you want to make sure you have the information correct, that you know that what you're being shown is what is actually happening when in your finances. And then the Temperance is having the patience to stay on your destined path and having the devotion to that. So being the best version of you that you can be. And, that I feel that this communication could be coming from yourself, although sometimes this implies that there's some sort of investigation going on because of all the Justice cards in this reading. We have the Moon energy saying, again, you're the sign of Cancer. You've always been intuitive. And as I said, a lot of times Cancer energy, they're the most sensitive emotionally. Use that energy to work for you rather than against you. And then this is, and the words common sense is coming up. Use your common sense. Like it doesn't always have to be complicated. The Falling Star energy. This is about opening your heart up after some sort of hardship. This is the Justice coming in. Whatever was going on in the background here that maybe you're not aware of, when you find that out, it's going to benefit you because, when we have the truth, then we can open our heart up to the possibilities coming in and opening up to this new love. Falling and failing in love is a matter of I. And that means like you have to love yourself first and look after yourself. The Scotoma is, there was a blind spot. And I feel like this is, if you've been married before or in a significant other relationship, there was something going on. You had a blind spot about it. And, after doing all these readings lately, I've come to the conclusion that love is blind. It's not just a saying. If we don't want to see something about people in our lives that we really care for a lot, and that could include our significant other, it could be our children, it could be, people from our family that we love, we don't see it until we see it. And then it's, the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. So it's basically saying you need to move forward with the new information and be aware of it. Pride is a karmic space that we can all fall into where it's all or nothing. Like, so you go into a relationship or into a situation and it has to be perfect. And so you don't want to see anything that's not perfect. And that's following this card. I feel that's kind of the energy that was there. Now for the underlying energy of the external forces, we have Pisces. And that, I feel, is talking about the Neptune energy. Pisces is quite often, this is the senior executive of the zodiac. So this sign, this energy in the sign of Pisces is talking about authority and the way things were. Like, it's the very last sign in the zodiac. And I feel this is talking about Neptune moving into the sign of Aries out of Pisces, and that was about a month and a half ago. And it's going to be, it was in Pisces for 14 years. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is kind of our idealistic look at how life is with the people we're with, how we see things like, oh, it's always worked out this way. Things always work out. If I do it this way, it's always been okay. That type of energy. And for the last 14 years, that may have been working very well for you. And you might be feeling like that's the way to continue doing things. But now Neptune has moved into Aries for the next 14 years. And, this is the newborn of the zodiac. This is totally opposite energy. Pisces is the last sign, all about authority, and it's more of a dreamier, watery, more emotional sign. Aries is a newborn baby crying because it's not getting its needs met. And you think about everything that a newborn baby has to learn in the first year of life. That energy, a lot of people are going through that right now. We can't always do things the same old way that we were doing them for the last 14 years when it comes to business and how we approach our, relationships of all sorts in our life. This is saying that you might need to take a new look at it and tweak it a bit. We have a transition coming in here for sure regarding, commitments that you make, especially in your romantic life or, your spousal energy. And we have the Wheel of Fortune coming in. So no more juggling. This is a transition coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that the past, the present, and the future are coming together with synchronicity to bring this new energy in for you. You're on a new journey here. And this energy is talking about you now going on, taking a leap of faith, and you're on a foolhardy journey. So this is saying it's safe to move forward. This is actually energy with, you can anticipate a strong future. I feel like that's that June 9th energy. You're a star. Don't forget it. And it's okay to be innocent. It's okay not to give in and be a bully just because you were bullied. That's the energy. You're a star. You were meant to shine. It's your time now. Move forward and be strong in that energy. The universe and the Most High are supporting you in that journey. And there could have been a lot of trauma in your life before caused by partners and people in your life. Then you're the one who's crying. And so she's a drama queen. That's the energy that I'm getting. And this is when you don't know what to do. So, there's three options. Basically, you either fight or you run or you just freeze and you don't do anything. So this is talking about you don't want any trauma. You don't want any drama in your life. It's okay. Life's a slice. Hold the drama. Save the drama for beautiful sunsets. That type of energy. Especially in your relationships with your intimate others, you want that to be a safe relationship. And that's the blessing coming in from the Hierophant. It's saying this traditional... Oh, Stella, my cat, sorry. She just bumped the camera. So the Hierophant is talking about the traditional structure coming in. So this could represent, if there is justice coming in here, and there's a few cards regarding that it will happen, and it's going to have something to do with, I feel your lifestyle is going to improve for sure. And also there could have been some funny business with your money that you weren't aware of from the past, and maybe it's been going on for quite some time. So you're going to learn about that, but it will be a blessing for you. All right, so there we have it. This is a really good reading, Cancer. It kind of is talking about the energy of, that's coming in. And I feel like pay attention, keep your mind focused on where you want to go, and just, be aware of the energy. Like if people start coming in from your past all of a sudden, and there's all these people you haven't heard from for a very long time, keep your eyes open, use your intuition regarding that situation. I do hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you for any likes and comments, and for your time and energy. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. All right. Have fun out there, Cancer. Bye for now.